it's a different experience watching a game in Serbia. Definitely haven't done that several times when I was with the Grizzlies. Looks like we're finally ready to rock and roll here.
Yeah, here we go. Jump ball. Wemby and Milutinov for the tap. It's controlled by Le Bleu. Part of a doubleheader, the women's teams faced off. France defeating Serbia 85-63 in the women's game. Mathieu Strazel had a hot hand early on Monday, missing that one. There's Gobert. And Rudy gets stripped by Jokic.
Yeah, good dig.
Koulibaly off 1 foot, fading away, and out of bounds to France.
Good example there, France's size, though. I mean, you're matching up with Gobert with the guy who's basically your 4, because it looks like Jokic has the Wembanyama assignment.
Wemby, little difficulty on the catch. Baseline jumper drops in for Victor Wembanyama.
Shows how much you have to crowd him, that Jokic was basically there and still couldn't really impact the shot because Wembanyama just shot it right over the top of him.
49 points in his first 2 games with France in these Olympic tune-ups. Did not play on Monday against Germany. Onyan Dobric had that blocked, and Jokic misses, falling away. Or rather, Milutinov,
it seemed like good hands there. It seemed like Jokic was involved, really focused on getting the other guys involved in that first trip.
Nice dunk in transition. Dobric on the dunk.
It was a nice finish. He had to get up with that quickly to pack that in before the defender closed on him.
Yeah, Cordinier almost got there.
Yeah. We saw him have a pretty sweet block the other day.
That's for sure. He's got it right now. Cordinier, former mid-second round draft choice, about 8 years ago by the Atlanta Hawks. Wembanyama, step back 3. Gobert cleans it up off glass.
We've seen him now in the 2 games turn over each shoulder in the post and score. I didn't know. Did he call en banc or however they say it in French? I'm not sure. Oh man, I can't believe I didn't remember that from the other day.
And here you had your croissant all ready to go too.
I even had a prop. Exactly. That's a nice patient finish by Jokic there. He's telling the ref Wembanyama fouled him too.
We play on no whistle, but we are tied. First bucket for Jokic.
He was able to get into Wembanyama's body and really take away the shot block. That's tough. A little Spain pick and roll there. Yeah, it was a pick and roll with Wembanyama, but then they set a screen on Jokic so that Wembanyama could have a free. You can see Gobert in there set the screen, so Wembanyama has a free rim run. Milutinov couldn't quite get there in time.
Milutinov, a former first-round draft choice of the San Antonio Spurs. Do you remember much from scouting him with the Grizzlies?
He wasn't quite as high on our target list. We actually had the pick, I want to say right before San Antonio in that draft. I think that was the year we took Jarrell Martin, if I'm not mistaken. We didn't have him quite as high on our board, I would say. So I didn't spend like massive energy on him. But an interesting player, like he definitely could have played in the league, I think, just contractually for some of these guys. When they get to a certain level in Europe, it's better for them to stay there rather than play on a minimum in the NBA. Nice press break there.
Wow, that was
just carved that up.
Yeah. Dobric again, fast break and a half there, breaking the press. Wemby with 4 early points. Gobert has the other 2. Wembanyama, a 3, drills it. Man. He's feeling good early.
That's so nice. I mean, that's Jokic is defending him, and he looks like he's 6'4" or something trying to contest that shot, right? He looks so small when he's out there contesting Wembanyama's shot because he's just got such a high release. It's crazy.
Jokic hands it off. Fade away for Bogdanovic doesn't go. Big battle for the board.
You could see why he had to fade away, too. Again, that was Wembanyama, who was 5 feet away from him, but still able to contest the shot with his length and force Bogdanovic into a much more difficult fading jumper when he probably would have liked to just go straight up with it and bank it in, and kind of took away his angle to do that.
So France with a 3-point lead, about 3:24 gone by in this one. 7 points for Wemby in the early going. Jokic with it. Milutinov on Gobert. Bogdanovic an open three.
That was a smart shot by Bogdanovic because he saw that Koulibaly was fronting Jokic, and so that if he missed the shot, Jokic was going to get the offensive rebound.
Which is exactly what happened. And Koulibaly called for the foul. Jokic, a 3-time MVP. John, sometimes we see this when a guy wins multiple MVP awards, you get voter fatigue, and maybe that's what happened to him in 2023 when Embiid won it, though Embiid was very deserving. Do you think there could be, going forward, some MVP voter fatigue with Nikola Jokic, or do you see him being a guy that can maybe crank out another 2 to 3 MVPs?
I think as long as the Nuggets are a top 3 seed in the West again, you know, he's going to be right there in that race, and he'll have probably a really great statistical case again, especially if he's healthy. So it's really a matter of who can step up and emerge and also be part of that race. You know, I think Embiid would have been in the discussion again last year if he had just stayed healthy the whole season. His stats were monstrous for the half the season he played. I think can Wembanyama get into that discussion? Can Luka Doncic or Shai Gilgeous-Alexander? There's bad pass and a turnover.
Jokic just bowls over Wembanyama. No whistle. We play on. Dobrich the 3, and he knocks it down, and Serbia has the lead.
Yeah, you're probably not getting that charge in the NBA, and you're certainly not getting it in FIBA. You are getting that offensive foul, though. Gobert very clearly put his shoulder into him. One of the best screeners in the game. Usually he's really good about staying clean, but that was a pretty clear violation. I mean, he threw that right into him.
Yeah, easy call. Bojan Dobrich with 7 points for Serbia. Dobrich plays for Virtus Bologna, a Serie A team in Italy. They're also a EuroLeague team. And Serbian Cup MVP winner with Red Star the year before in 22-23.
Look like the Dancing Bears come in. Rashawn Yabusele, nice pass by Jokic.
Whew. That's what makes him so dangerous.
Yeah, Frank Ntilikina has to do better against that back cut.
So Ntilikina in, the Dancing Bear, Yabusele in, as John mentioned. And here's Yabusele, mid-first round pick of the Celtics 8 years ago. Played 2 years with Boston. And he has a good look from deep.
Nice.
Yabusele this year 30.
Bilal Koulibaly did a good job there, staying patient even with the late clock when he saw Yabusele open.
Yeah, he was a 45% three-point shooter with Real Madrid this year. And that three's off target, and France will push the pass a little too far for Cordinier. Couldn't quite keep it in play.
What would have to happen for them to throw Wembanyama the ball again?
Yeah.
he hasn't touched it for like 3 minutes, right? Like, can we maybe get this guy involved?
Hey, he scored 7 points in like the first 2 to 3 minutes of the game. You see Serbia doing anything differently with him to deny him the ball?
I just feel like he hasn't, like Wembanyama hasn't really been in the primary action these last few trips. Looks like we
Wembanyama
got
looks like
Evan
he's
Fournier in the game.
yeah. Dobrich going out. Fournier had a nice fadeaway in the last game. It was a good start against Germany. They took a 12-2 lead right off the jump. Matthias Lassault into the game as well. He was the one guarding Jokic. Jokic pop pass
What a
inside
great touch.
Milutinov.
Milutinov didn't see it coming. He was most surprised guy in the gym when that pass hit his hands. That was a great pass by Jokic.
Sure was. And if Milutinov was ready for it, it would have been an easy 2. Lassault, good ball movement here. Yabusele again. Fournier the rebound. He'll fire away. Got it.
Yeah, that's a rough stretch there for Milutinov. Gets beat by Evan Fournier for an offensive rebound and then never chased him out to the three-point line.
So the lead is 3 as Jokic sets the pick. Kicked out. Bogey, no. Bogdanovic with it. On the drive, draws the foul.
That's Charlotte's Vasa Misic that has checked into the game as well. That was running pick and roll with Jokic there.
He started the year with the Thunder before getting traded. Did some really nice stuff with the Hornets after getting traded. So a couple of free throws for Bogdanovic. John, what do you think his long-term future is with the Atlanta Hawks? So much, they had the big trade, DeJounte Murray going out of the house. They had obviously the #1 pick with Risache this year.
I think Murray being traded pretty much locks Bogdanovic in to, he has a couple years left on his deal. He's really good in that 6-man role. I think he probably should have won the award last year. And now they aren't quite caught where last year their best lineup a lot of times was Young, Murray, and Bogdanovic, and the problem with that was there was just no perimeter stopper. And now they can play Young and Bogdanovic and have Risache be the other wing and play defense, or they can have Hunter, or they can have, they have other guys who can give them different looks. DeAndre Daniels, who they got from New Orleans, is a great defender. So I think they can just line up in a more coherent way where it's not all offense anymore. So I think this actually helps Bogey a lot.
Under 3 to go. Oh, nice pass, Ntilikina to Fournier. A long 2 is not long enough, and we got a loose ball foul down low on Serbia. Lassault earning the foul there. It's going to go on Uroš Plavšić, who played collegiately at Tennessee.
Yeah, I saw quite a bit of him last year when I was watching Dalton Connect for the draft.
Plavšić now playing with Mega. Connect, the first-round pick of the Lakers, 17th overall. Slipped in a lot of people's minds, and he thought he was a top 10 guy. I
misspoke. My Tennessee seasons. Plavšić was 2 years ago.
And just missed each other.
Oh, Misic tried to get fancy, but didn't really see Batum chasing down the play. That's nice hustle by Nick Batum to pick off that pass.
And gets the offensive rebound, setting up Ntilikina for a 3.
Now I'm noticing here, Kevin, they aren't staggering Gobert and Wembanyama. They have them both out of the game right now.
Timeout called. We'll talk more about that when we come back from this break. It's a 5-point lead for France. Latter stages first quarter on the NBA app and NBA YouTube. 18-13, France leading Serbia here on the NBA app. Kevin Dan alongside the Athletics' John Hollinger, former front office member with the Memphis Grizzlies. And John, you were just talking about it before the break, that they are not staggering Gobert and Wembanyama, that they're either both on the floor or both on the bench, at least to start this game. What do you make of that? Do you think this is just something they look out in an Olympic test match, or do you think this is something that potentially we could see in a real game?
I think this might be something you see in a real game in the Olympics, and I'm curious what their thought process is. If they just think that they're better off playing Yabusele or Lasort as a 5, and so that their bench only can work that way, and that's why they'll just keep Wembanyama as a 4 next to Gobert, or what the logic is. I would say one thing that they're doing here that I wonder if they shouldn't do in the actual Olympics is have Lasort on the court when they are in the bonus. Based on what we saw the other day, he's going to the line again on a non-shooting foul.
What was he? 1 of 5, 1 of 7 from the foul line. It wasn't pretty.
I believe he was 1 of 7, and yeah. It wasn't like they were rattling out either.
Yeah, not close. Shot 63% from the foul line with Panathinaikos this year, the EuroLeague champions.
You know what? I was looking at France's fouls, not Serbia's, so they are not in the bonus yet.
Nikola, back-to-back triples.
Making some shots today. That's 5 3-pointers in the first quarter for France. Big difference. They only made, I think, 7 the whole game against Germany the other day.
Yeah.
So the big difference for them. And that shot for Micic right there, that's one you're going to let him have. And I thought that was a little aggressive from him to take that early in the shot clock.
$1:13 to go. Here's another look. Ntilikina, 32% career three-point shooter in the NBA in his 7 years. Looking at the foul.
Yeah. And the thing with these shots that Ntilikina's been making, though, I mean, he's been wide open. I mean, they've been good looks, and even against somebody whose percentages are like that, you can't just let him come out here and hit Funkos.
Batum fouled. Packed house here for this game, and a couple free throws coming up for Nico Batum, who will be heading back to the Clippers on a 2-year deal worth $9.6 million. What'd you think of that move, John?
Good move for the Clippers. Great for him to come back to LA. Familiar place for him, obviously. Was traded to Philly in the James Harden deal, and now he's able to come back, and he'll be able to control his future with that player option on the 2nd year.
Gets him to both go. He will turn 36 in 5 months, Batum.
It's Vanya Marinkovic, who sure seemed like he traveled at the start of that move, but was not called.
Certainly. Oh, Lasor knocked that off Plavšić, it looked like, and it will stay with Serbia.
Gonzaga fans will also remember Filip Petrusev, who is now on the court for Serbia as well.
Yeah, played 3 games in the NBA this year with Sacramento and Philadelphia before going back to Europe. Catch and shoot 3, and it drops in. Wow. Barely in the hands of Marinkovic, rather.
That was an impressive release. He never brought the ball down. It was the only way he could get the shot off, and he nailed it from the corner. You see more guys doing that on catch and shoots, just keeping the ball high and releasing it right away, but it's a really hard skill to master, and it's so impressive when you see a guy do that. It's something that we've seen more players like Jeremy Grant in Portland is the guy you see do it a lot. You see Bogdanovic do it in Atlanta sometimes. When the defender is close, it's late clock, and it just has to go up. You just kind of almost like a volleyball setter, and you're just tapping it up there.
Also, Micic with the pass, and the buzzer-beating layup goes in for Serbia. So the lead will be down to 5 for France as we head to the second. 23-18, Le Bleu on top. We'll come back with the second quarter here on the NBA app and YouTube. 23-18, the French fans, waving their flags with pride as we get ready for the start of the second quarter. Up by 5 over Serbia, 23-18. Kevin Ann and John Hollinger of The Athletic with you. John, what were your thoughts from the first 10 minutes of play?
Well, the big story was France's three-point shooting. They were 5 of 9 from 3. Half their shots were three-pointers. Wembanyama made one. It was a beautiful step back over Nikola Jokic. But then Frank Ntilikina made 2. We got one from Yabusele, one from Fournier off an offensive rebound. And I mean, these are wide open shots, too. These are really good looks. So Serbia has to close that out and take that away.
Jokic back in. Hands it off. Vasamicic.
Looks like former Memphis Grizzly Marko Guduric is out there as well.
And 3 a little strong. Played 1 year with the Grizzlies, Marko. 44 games played. Marinkovic, a good look. And Jokic, able to put it back in. Jokic, 5 points and 3 boards now.
Yeah, and this is what we want right now. It's Jokic versus Victor, and 8 bench players are out there.
Get out of the way.
Just clear out a side, fellas. Come on. There's Fournier with another really good look for 3.
Getting all they can eat from downtown. Wemby wants it, but Yabusele will take it himself, and the Dancing Bear will trot his way to the line.
I mean, it worked out for him, but I don't really love the idea for him to try to dribble drive on Jokic when Wembanyama had Petrusev on him.
Yeah, it's a significant size advantage there for Wemby, even though Petrusev is 6'11". I was listening to the Hoop Collective podcast, and Wendy and the guys were saying there are some people who think Wembanyama might even be 7'6" now, that he hasn't exactly finished growing. Yabusele hitting the first.
I guess we're going to have to wait to the first Memphis game when he plays against Zach Edey, and that'll be our benchmark, right?
Exactly. What did you think of that pick, Edey going number 9? It was a pretty polarizing draft prospect this year.
Yeah, I was a little surprised he went that highly, just because I think his mobility at the defensive end is going to be really tested by NBA guards, and then he does have to change a little bit about how he plays at the offensive end too. I mean, obviously a massively productive college player though, and for this international game, it's interesting as we see an offensive foul by Jokic there, no protest at all. I think he just got that chicken wing out. Oh, blatant, yeah. Kind of realized he was stuck once he was going to get a shot blocked by Victor if he didn't do something creative there.
Yeah, you're in Atlanta, Hollinger, as Ludacris might say, throw them bows. So 5
incredible reference to one of our ATL airport ambassadors. You actually see his picture when you come up the escalator in Atlanta.
Really?
Yes.
Nice. Yabusele.
There's good pressure by the Serbian guards here.
Wembanyama. Offensive rebound, Albc. Andrew Albc. This is Wemby. And through the hands of Batum.
Yeah, and so this is the other area where they're getting hurt is on the offensive boards. And it's been a lot of, guard rebounding where they gave up one to Fournier that led to a 3. Albc, who's, is he even 6 feet tall? Gets one right there. That and the 3-pointers are really hurting Serbia. It's kind of amazing they've been able to stay in the game.
Now, Albc's listed at 5'10". That's knocked out of bounds.
Batum has just been all over the place here. Just a really impressive first half stint. Yeah, actually, the rebound battle has been pretty wild both ways. 10 offensive boards for France and 6 for Serbia.
Yeah, a lot of both boards. Good touch pass here. Petrushev in the corner, crowded, and rattles it down.
That was probably not the exact shooting form you draw up, but he got it to go down. Kind of delayed his motion and waited on Fournier a little bit to kind of throw off his jump to contest.
A wild pass there. 3-on-2 for Serbia. 3 in the air. That's not going to go.
That's the shot he wants. Left-handed three-point shooter Marko Guduric with some pretty good size. Just didn't get it to go down. I think Serbia has had some really good moments in transition generally throughout this first half. And so that's one of the drawbacks. I mean, France is going hard to the glass, but when they don't get it, they're definitely leaving the barn door open a little bit.
Guduric had a really nice look there. Shot 31 from 3 with Fenerbahce this year in Turkey. EuroLeague team. There's a foul on Petrushev.
Koulibaly is back in.
That's already the 4th team foul on Serbia.
Now, I wonder if we're going to see Hack-a-Lasort when we get to the actual Olympic Games. I don't think you do it in a tune-up game.
Yeah. Koulibaly, no. Wembanyama can't quite get it back, and he's fouled. That's going to be free throws.
A couple right in a row on Petrushev. You can see the length. I mean, he's just going right over Jokic's back, and like nobody is doing that in the NBA. You know, like Jokic controls the defensive boards when he has position like that because he's so thick around and his arms are long. Like even though he doesn't jump that high, you don't see people going over his back like that to get offensive boards. And Wembanyama just did it easily.
Did you see his, I don't know how to describe it other than a reverse block on Fournier in practice a couple of days ago?
I did not. I mean, I had seen one or two clips of him doing almost like a no-look block shot where he just kind of spins around his arm the other way.
Yeah.
So I can imagine what you're talking about, but I didn't actually see the clip.
Oh, man. I mean, it's just another one of those things where Wembanyama does something, it feels like every game where you're like, I have not seen that before. There he is on defense, guarding Jokic.
You know that all too well from last year, right?
Yeah.
And that's where Jokic missed the shot, but that is the one area where Wembanyama has to get better. When guys get into his body, you can see Jokic gave him troubles there. Alperen Şengün of Houston gave him a lot of trouble during the regular season, where he would just get into his body and spin off at him and get leverage, and that made it hard for Wembanyama to use his length to contest the shot.
Was able to knock it away from the rim. After the fact, Jokic gets it back and almost knocked off the rim by Wemby.
Gotta love those FIBA goaltends.
Yes.
Oh, good hands.
Steal, but the missed layup would have tied it up. Go inside to Lasort. Draws a foul on Jokic. So we'll see if Matthias Lasort will be better at the line today. Or no. Apparently out of bounds to France or to Serbia. There's Svetislav Pesic, the head coach of Serbia.
This is interesting. I don't think Guduric handling versus Koulibaly is the thing you really want here. Worked out for them on this pick and roll though. They were able to get into it once they got it across half court. Another offensive rebound. Another offensive. No, that's going to be on Jokic for the discard.
Yeah.
Now I think our guy's going to shoot some free throws.
Yes. Yep. Oh. Or not.
Are they not in the bonus? It looked like Gobert was checking in for Lesort, actually.
Yeah, that's what it looked like. But a timeout is being called.
We're going to a timeout, too.
Yeah. So we'll go to a break as well. It's a 2-point lead for France over Serbia. Back after this on the NBA app and NBA YouTube. (27-25), a 2-point lead for France here midway through the second quarter. And we will see Lesort step to the line. These should be some interesting free throws after his 1-for-7 performance against Germany, and he misses the first one.
Yeah, this is going to be something. I mean, other teams are watching in their preparation for the Olympic tournament, and they're taking note of this, surely, that they may be able to use this to their advantage in a intentional foul situation.
Jokic hands it off. Back to him.
Well, the old NCAA cylinder call right there on Albasi trying to crowd Jokic because of the size disadvantage.
Chance to take the lead or tie it up.
There. Yeah, that was nice. They picked off Gobert, so that Koulibaly had to be the help defender.
Tied at 27 now. Albasi with the basketball.
All right, now would it kill you guys to run something for Victor?
You get it to Rudy. Nando Nicolo in. 3 rattles out.
Wembanyama had a nice little duck in at the start of that last possession, but they never saw him.
Foul off ball on France. Goodrich was trying to run a play with Jokic. Alexa Avramovic will throw it in. Goodrich going to work. Good on-ball defense does eventually lead to a foul. What's going on, Nando Nicolo?
I thought they should have gone ahead and thrown that into Milutinov. You see the steal. He had Victor inside the circle, and for whatever reason, Marinkovic did not hit him.
That was a pretty good post up. Goodrich.
I mean, you're never getting deeper position than that, and he could have used the rim to protect his shot against Victor. He was so deep.
Jokic over Albasi to beat the shot clock. It's a 3.
Yeah, nothing to see here. Just your 7-foot center dribbling against the other team's point guard into a step back 3 going to his left.
10 points for Jokic now. 10 straight for Serbia. Trying to get it to Victor there.
Yeah, it was a nice little cut from the weak side, and I think he had a favorable matchup if the pass had gone through. I don't know if they call that a kick ball violation, which will help him with the shot clock.
There it is again, Jokic on
You can
RBC.
see the skill. Yeah.
They did reset the shot clock to 14. Wemby was kind of falling out of bounds.
Trapped Victor in the corner. Yeah, they threw it up really high for him on the inbound, but he had to keep those skis on the playing court was the hard part, and he was kind of pinned against the sideline.
Good hustle by Onion Dobric to save the possession here for Serbia. Flipped up, and that's going to drop for Avramovic.
Nice little floater there. Didn't take it all the way into Gobert. He knew he was going to be in trouble if he got too close to the rim. That's the distance you want to get to against this French team. If you try scoring inside the charge circle on these guys, it's probably getting swatted.
Mathieu Strazel off a screen.
That's the shot they need him to knock down and be threatening.
Exactly. Jokic backing his way down on Wemby.
Again, able to get into the body, able to take the bump, and it neutralizes the shot blocking, and he gets the and one.
It looks like France is going to call a timeout here as Serbia has opened up a 7-point lead. It's a 14-0 run. They were down 7, now up 7.
I feel like we're seeing the same movie.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. This is what happened against Germany for them on Monday, only this time Wembanyama is playing. But what have you noticed here from Serbia in the second quarter, John?
I think they've had a lot of success just getting downhill in their pick and roll game and not getting all the way to the rim necessarily, but getting to a good enough shot where they can complete the play either through Jokic or through one of the guards. Their defense is really tightened up. France made 5 threes. I think all 5 of their three-pointers came in the first quarter, if I'm not mistaken. They only have 2 points here in the second quarter in 7 minutes. They've completely forgotten about Wembanyama. A couple of the belated efforts to get him the ball haven't really been fruitful. And Jokic has made a couple of really nice plays here. He's up to 14 points and 6 rebounds. The other story to watch here, he does have 2 fouls, and so does Gobert.
Yeah, again, 5 and you're out in FIBA basketball. So that is foul trouble at this point in the game. There's Bogey, Bogdanovic. And so Jokic will go to the line. What do you think France can do to try to get Victor the ball?
I think they just have to get him the ball. Either I know they're trying to use Gobert as the screener, but they even running a 4-5 pick and roll where it's Gobert and Wembanyama. Like if Wembanyama is your best player, you just have to make him the focal point of these plays instead of trying to do like a 1-5 pick and roll. That is. Wow, they're going to call an offensive foul on Gobert holding off Jokic. I thought that was an incredible pass by Victor to loop that over Jokic's arm, and I think Gobert just needed to hold his position a half second longer before the discard there, and he would have been okay. If that's an offensive foul, that is 3 on Gobert.
Oh, that would be his 3rd. Yeah, you're right. On the take, Bogdanovic into the corner. 3, Dobric, no. Offensive rebound, Jokic puts it in.
Boards again. Yeah. Really smart drive by Bogdanovic because he knew Gobert was going to block the shot. So he didn't even look at the rim. He just let Gobert chase him through the paint and then kicked it back out to the corner. And once he took Gobert away with him, it created more of an opening for Jokic to get that offensive rebound.
Jokic with 14 points and 7 boards now on 6 of 9 shooting. It It was 23-18 after one quarter in favor of France. It's 18-4 this period, Serbia.
And this is the thing you worry about with France is, can their offense keep up? Can they get enough points from their perimeter players? And it hasn't happened today. There was a wild miss on the post up by Gobert. We saw a couple of good post plays from Gobert in against Germany, and again in the first quarter today. That one looked a little more like the Dallas series. Bucket and one for Serbia.
Really nice move by Bogdanovic, and it was Milutinov who got fouled.
Yeah, it looked like that. That's exactly what they called. They called France for playing dominoes and pushing Milutinov into Bogdanovic, it looked like.
So Milutinov will get the free throw again. Drafted 26 overall by San Antonio. His rights currently held by the Brooklyn Nets, though he has never played in the NBA. Was with Olympiacos this year, second team All-Greek League. Greek all-defensive team. Well short on the free throw. But he gets one more.
Two-shot? Is it a two-shot foul, or is it?
It's a two-shot foul.
This isn't the old two to make one from the NBA bonus rule in like 1980, right?
No, since he wasn't the guy who shot it, I believe it's the FIBA thinking there. He gets one of two. Now he will come out, and Plavšić will come in for him. I believe it's a 19-0 run now for Serbia. Wembanyama out of the short roll. Good ball movement here. Wemby does get it, 5 to shoot. And hacked in the act.
That's a 3-shot foul, landing zone. Yep. That's so tough. You're trying to get so close on Wembanyama to just get any kind of challenge on his shot that it's a built-in hazard that you're going to end up getting underneath him on his landing and causing a 3-shot foul that way.
Wembanyama with 9 points. He's a perfect 4 of 4 from the line. This could perhaps get France going a little bit. Stuck on 4 points in the second quarter.
Yeah, it looks like a 19-2 run if I'm reading this play-by-play sheet right. It was 25-20 France.
Okay, yeah,
Wembanyama
19.
finally ends it. Again, though, like it wasn't even a great shot. It was late clock. He made initially a pretty good drive and kick, but his pass to the corner was too high, so Batum couldn't do a catch and shoot out of it. He had to leap for the ball and throw it to a teammate.
Yeah, you're right. It was 19-2. My mistake. Now it's 19-4. Wembanyama hits all 3 free throws. He's 7 of 7 from the foul line today.
Again, France coming with the pressure, which Serbia has seemed to handle pretty easily.
Fans chanting "Défense."
That's a great block from behind by Wembanyama. I don't think Jokic thought there was any way he was going to get there. I was about to say I don't like France switching that pick and roll. Just go under against Micic and keep your matchup solid, but Wembanyama's effectively able to cover 2 players, so it didn't matter.
That was impressive for Wemby. The Rookie of the Year with 12 points, 6 rebounds, and that block. They leave Ntilikina open. Oh, almost got another one.
Hot hand theory right there. I don't know if he takes that shot if he hadn't made the first 2 in the first quarter.
I agree with you, John. Jokic just bullying Wembanyama, reverses it up.
That's an incredible move. What made it so amazing is that Victor actually hung with him on that spin, and Jokic usually just leaves guys in the dust when he does that quick spin. Look, Victor actually hangs with him there. It was that late shove from Jokic that knocked him off balance. Again, getting into his body. They could have maybe called an offensive foul on Jokic, actually. But then once he got that advantage, Wembanyama was dead.
Fortunately, from a French perspective, that foul goes on Lasor and not Wemby. They've taken a foul away from Wembanyama. He's only at one personal foul now. But that would have been his second, and now Serbia back up by 12.
Yeah, this has been an absolutely dominant second quarter from Nikola Jokic.
He's got 17 points. Wembanyama lobbing it up. What a pass to Lasor for the alley-oop.
Yeah, that's another really impressive pass from him. And Serbia immediately calls timeout.
42-32. We'll keep it here on this timeout break. A really nice feed from Wembanyama, who averaged nearly 4 assists per game with the San Antonio Spurs this year. What do you see as his upside as a playmaker going forward?
I think it's pretty high because he has the periscope, right? Like, he can see over all the defenders and see where the defense is. And it's just a matter of him getting the reps to read the game, to understand where all these guys are coming from, because he's going to get the attention from opposing defenses. He's going to be able to suck in, help defenders, and then he'll be able to pick out his teammates at that point for easier shots. So, yeah, I think that's something that we're going to see evolve with him and improve over the course of his career. And we're seeing it already. I mean, even from when we watched him a year and a half ago playing for Mets, I think he's thrown some passes here today that we just didn't see in his bag before.
Yeah, that's a good point, John. That was his first assist of this game to go along with 12 points, 6 rebounds, block. Catches younger brother on the NBA app, Oscar Wembanyama, at the NBA Academy Games this weekend in Atlanta. Did his game yesterday. Pretty good player. Oscar's 6'7", 17 years old.
How many professional basketball players do you think there are who are 10 inches shorter than their brother?
That would be a short list, you'd have to imagine. Vasim Micic is back in. There's close to 11 per game in a Hornet uniform after the trade. Donovich gives it off.
Wow.
Marinkovic wide open.
That was horrific defense on the final shot of the half.
That was putting it politely. Yikes.
Yeah. They were slow to get around the first screen for Bogdanovic, brought in 2 defenders, and then he hits Marinkovic, who was another really good. I mean, that's the whole thing that got him drafted, was his outside shot when the Sacramento Kings picked him with the last pick of the draft several years ago. And Bogdanovic found him, and just an awesome second quarter for Serbia. They go into the break, looks like up 13, 27-9 second quarter.
A big-time second quarter as Marinkovic, Mr. Irrelevant in 2019, gives the Serbian national team a 13-point lead at the break. We'll take a break.